Hey, good evening. Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, coming to you Friday Night Live, as I've been doing for, oh goodness, it's coming upon 2 years actually. Well, I guess March will be 2 years, but it's been a while, and I'm grateful for those of you who join me. And it's always my hope and prayer that you glean something from this broadcast that helps you get through the trauma of divorce. That is my purpose, and that's what I do, is I work with individuals going through the trauma of divorce from the very beginning through the divorce, and also in building a new life after divorce. It's all a struggle. It's all a struggle. But the topic I wanted to talk to you about tonight is, get all my banners in place here, about standing in your own authority. And many of us feel very disjointed when we're going through the trauma of divorce, and don't feel very powerful. And yet we have authority. We have what psychologists call agency. We have our own ability to make choices and to have authority. We're given certain authorities being alive. We're given different choices and different abilities. So I want to talk to you tonight, those particularly who are dealing with someone who is trying to undermine your authority, whether that's as a parent or as authority over your own life. And I hear your stories. Dealing with a woman just a couple of weeks ago whose children were being alienated from her by her former spouse. There's a lot of stuff going out there right now, and we can feel so weak and so powerless. But tonight I want to talk about standing in your authority and what exactly that means. As always, if you have questions or comments, you can text me. You can make a comment here. I certainly will acknowledge that. Or have a question. I'd love to have this interactive. That's always been my goal, is to have conversation on real issues with real people, live and now. But let's talk about, where is your authority? What is your authority? Where is your authority? Well, you have authority over your own body. You have say of where you go, what you do, how you speak, where you go, where you don't go, what happens with your body. That's an authority that you have. Now, I hope and pray that none of you are in the situation where you feel you don't have authority over your own body. And that's not so extreme as that it never happens, because it does. But you have a God-given ability to have authority over your own body. You have authority over your own voice, in what you speak and how you speak and who you speak to. And again, I know that some of you out there are dealing in a situation where you feel like you have no voice. But you do. You've just lost it because of the actions of others or the narcissism of others. So you have authority over your own voice. You have authority over your own thoughts. You can think what you want to think. You have that authority. Now, there will be those who are trying to tell you what you should and should not think. But this is your authority, to have your own thoughts and to be able to stand in your own thoughts, regardless of what others may be trying to tell you. We can be so weighed down with guilt and the shame and the expectation of others that we don't even have our own thoughts. We're just trying to appease everyone else. But no, my friend, you have authority to have your own thoughts, your own values, your own beliefs, separate from what other people are telling you. You have a choice of your own thoughts. Now, for some of you, you may think, well, that's kind of pretty elementary here. But the stories that I've heard from some of you, it's not that elementary. In fact, it's happening to where you, during all of the pressure on this time and dealing with your former spouse, feel like you don't even have your own thoughts. And the air is going to clear as you get through the divorce and you get beyond it and you get intentional about creating your own life. That is going to change. And you have the authority to have your own values of what you feel is important. You have that authority. And don't let anyone take that away from you or shame you, try to shame you to feel otherwise. You have the authority. Now, many of you feel like your authority is lacking when it comes to parenting. That's a whole nother topic. But a lot of this relates to that because you feel, because of words that were said, maybe even from your own children, but from your other spouse or from someone else, that you don't have the authority as a parent, a mom or a dad. And I want you to know that you do. Wow, the time goes fast. It's already 7 minutes. I was going to try to keep this under 8 minutes. Okay, I'm going to try to be quicker. Do you live within your authority? Do you live within the control, the knowing that you have control over your body, control over your voice, control over your thoughts? Do you give yourself permission to have an opinion, your own opinion, not what other people want you to think or shame you, try to shame you into thinking? Do you have permission to have your own values? You have the authority. Have you given yourself that authority? Are you living within that authority? So there will be many, well, maybe not many, but maybe one or two is enough. Someone who disrespects or disregards your authority, someone who lies to you, someone who disregards and doesn't respect your boundaries, your opinion, your thoughts. I want to talk about that and in how to respond to that. First of all, you have to know that in your head. You have to understand that God gives you each individual choice. I mean, for crying out loud, He gives us choice to accept or love or reject Him. He gives you a lot of authority over your life, your body, your mind. It's up to you. So you have to first have it in your mind. I have the authority. I have the authority to be a parent to my children, an authority to make decisions of my own, my financial decisions, the people I hang out with. I have that authority. And don't let anyone tell you that you don't. So how do you deal with those people who are disregarding your authority? First of all, you deal in the facts. The more emotion you can take out of it, the better you are going to be received. Be factual. Be calm, be steady. I am your mother, and while you're under this roof, these are the rules. And someone tries to scream at you, your former spouse, or shame you or blame you, the steadier that you can become and the calmer and the more factual gives you the upper hand. Because they're going to realize they can't push you around anymore. You have authority, and they're not able to push you around anymore. And there is one verse that I do want to share that is so true of all relationships, and that is, don't be overcome by evil. When people are trying to undermine your authority, it could be to the extent that it's evil. Overcome evil with good. How do you overcome evil with good? You stand in your authority, you speak calmly, you use facts, you don't let people push your buttons so that you become this raving maniac. No, you stand in your authority. You are kind. And if it's your children that are acting out against you, again, you're going to be calm. You may even ask questions of them to find out what's really going on. Often children will lash out at the parent that they know they won't lose. If they're insecure about their other parent leaving them, they're not going to lash out at them. They are going to try to comply because deep down they don't want to lose them. But you may be the safe parent, and you may be the one taking the brunt of the disrespect. How critically important it is that you have boundaries in dealing with your children and stand in your authority. And I know many spouses may come and scream at you and tell you what's going to happen in the divorce and you're going to lose everything, as if they are the judge. And just because they say it does not make it true. Stand in your authority, your voice, your values, control over your body, control over your emotions. Overcome evil with good. Learn this skill of standing in your authority so people will not push you around. Now, it's not as simple as what I've just mapped out here for many of you. It's very complicated. You need someone to walk you through this and to assist you. Maybe you need a therapist. Maybe you need a group to belong to, but someone to give you more perspective of the authority that you have. So I'd encourage you to reach out. Excuse me. I'd encourage you to reach out, to find that therapist, to find that coach, to find that individual who can walk alongside you, give you the perspective that you need to stand in your authority. I hope this has been of help. I know many of you feel very emotionally beat up, and you need someone to let you know that you have authority in which you can stand in. Your voice, your values, your body, your choices. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Have a great week. It's Thanksgiving week. I hope you're able to somehow connect with those that you love and be grateful for what you have. If your turkey isn't a big turkey this year and it's a small chicken, it's okay. It's okay. Your attitude is going to make your world bigger. Take care. Have a great week. And I'm here for you if you want to reach out. And other than that, we'll see you next Friday on Facebook Live with Divorce Support Anonymous. Good evening.